What I'm up though, folks? Your favorite auditor, audit them. The one who encourages you to audit them. I am in the city of Sunrise, Florida. First time coming here. Conducting a 1A. Along with inspection on public record, chapter 119 FOIA. Let's see how this goes. It is about 80 degrees out. February 2023. It's the commission chambers. Let's see. First floor, second. City clerk. Come again?
Can I help you?
No. I got it.
No, it's secured area. You need a pass to get up there.
Say that again?
It's a secured area. You need a pass to get up there. See the swipe?
Oh, so how the clerk's office is on the 4th floor?
Yeah, I can get someone to help you. Come on out.
I need to go to the...
Yeah, she'll come down and help you. I'm gonna call her.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Leonard Pellegrino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need someone to down here. You want me to get him? Okay, hold on. Well, maybe we ought to come down and take it from him. All right. She'll be right down, sir.
What did you just relay to her, sir?
Excuse me?
What did you relay to her?
That someone needs a public records request.
Who told you that I was inquiring in a public record request?
Why else would you be going to the clerk?
Say that again?
Why else would you be going to the clerk?
Could be a variety of things.
So she'll come down and help you, whatever it is.
Is there a reason why you're combative, sir?
I'm not combative, sir. You asked for help, and I'm getting you someone to help. She'll be down in a minute.
It won't go without the scan?
Nope.
That's strange.
Hello. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either. Someone's gonna have to come speak with him. All right, let me go get him. All right.
See, folks, never, always stay calm. Let the employees actually become combative and start presuming and assuming things. Because the more calm you are, the more these employees show themselves. the security guard went up and said, uh,
Oh, she's up for myself.
Hi guys, how you doing?
How about some chocolate?
security guard just assumed that I needed a public record, which I do, but
Girlfriend? All right.
it was just a presumption. City of Sunrise, Florida. Wow, big, nice magnets. Calendars. Well, you know, you get a salute to all the Florida A1s. Because that's probably the reason why the employees now are calm and they're not combative and ridiculous.
That's it, man.
Hi, can I help you?
Hello, hi, how's it going?
Hi, good, how are you?
May I ask what your first name is?
Felicia?
Felicia. What did the gentleman relay to you? Are you the clerk?
Yes.
Oh, did he relay anything to you over the phone?
No.
Okay, so what did you call the clerk here for, sir?
You said you wanted to see the clerk's office. You wanted to go to the
Yeah,
clerk's
I
office?
wanted to go to the clerk. Is the clerk's office open for public record inspection?
Of course it is, but you have to have proper ID in order to get to those floors.
Okay, well, first of all, Chapter 119 does not require identification in order to file a Chapter 119 request. That'll be a violation of Chapter 119. All the records that you have on the wall upstairs are subject to public disclosure, shall be open for inspection and copying. Can you show me the policy where you state that it requires an ID in order to file a Chapter 119 request?
I can. I
Sure.
will contact the city manager's office.
I'll wait here momentarily and inspect these records.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I ask that you bring your business card as well. Thanks. Okay, so now we'll wait for their policy. We'll go ahead and take a look at their policy, and then after that, I'll go ahead and file my Chapter 119. But let's take it step by step. I'm gonna have her show me the paper that she's referring to. After she's unable to identify that it does not require an ID for Chapter 119, that's when I'm gonna ask again to inspect readily available records they do have in the clerk's office, which shall be open to inspection and copying. According to Chapter 119, Florida State Sunshine, it is the policy of the state that all state, county, and municipal records are open for personal inspection and copying by any person. Providing access to public records is a duty of each agency. So go ahead and wait for momentarily for the clerk to bring that said policy. Meanwhile, let me go ahead and inspect these public records they have here on the wall.
You're welcome.
It's so lovely to remain calm and just let fools make fools out of themselves the way they illustrate themselves on camera. Men lie, women lie, cameras do not. People would stand in here in line and pay for fees with no knowledge of what they're paying for. And the employees, the employees also illustrate the way they do. Public service payments and account service may also be done at the following. Customer service, Oh, Faye. What I like for people to know is that the employees are below the organizational chart. The people are the ones who are on top of the organizational chart. Sir, are you aware that the clerk's office handles a variety of different things other than just public records?
Sure.
So why would you presume that I'm here for a public record
Didn't assume
request?
anything, sir. You said you wanted to see the clerk. I got you the clerk.
The first
Helping
thing
me.
the first thing you said on the phone was there's a guy here for
I'm
public
assuming you have
records.
public records because you have a camera, and usually when people come in here with a camera, you're not the first, of course.
Sure.
They're looking for public records request, so that's what I'm trying to help.
My man. I'd like to ask you, sir, there's other men that came in here filming. Was it was any of the employees harassing any of the cameramen? Or was any of the cameramen harassing any of the employees?
No.
You don't recall? Okay.
No.
My man. See, the thing about it is that there's no way employees could say anything about me because I'm always calm. I always allow,
I wasn't saying anything about you. I wasn't saying anything about you.
and I'm straightforward,
I'm calm too.
and I conduct my business. And I have Chapter 119 state law here with me that gives
We'll help you.
you the
I'm not
power.
the clerk.
Right.
We'll help you.
Now, yeah, step by step. Step by step. Waiting here for the clerk momentarily. The clerk is supposed to be bringing over a policy. So let's wait and see. Hello. Oh, good. That's your business card?
Yes, it is.
Sure.
And I'm Emily.
Emily. Hi,
I can
nice
help
to
you
meet
with whatever
you.
you need.
My name is George.
Hi, George.
Nice to meet you. So did you relay what my request was?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, to go upstairs and walk around?
No, not to go upstairs and walk around. Can you relay what my request was to her?
You said that you wanted a copy of the policy.
Well, first I asked to inspect all public records regardless of physical form or characteristics that you have in the clerk's office. All the public records you have, mats and plats on the wall, should be open to inspection and copying for personal inspection and copying by any person, section 11901. Is the clerk's office presently available for open for inspection and copies with the public records you have readily available?
So you'd have to make an appointment? I mean, it would
You would
depend on
have
what
to-
you would have to tell us what you want, like specific
You'd have to tell us
parameters.
specifically what you want.
Okay.
What is it that you're looking for specifically?
Sure. Chapter 119 does not require an appointment.
But you need to tell us with specificity what it is you're looking for. What do you want
Right.
to look at?
Whatever records you have on the walls in the clerk's office, that's what I like to inspect and photocopy.
I would be happy to bring those downstairs.
Roughly how many images do you have on the wall?
We have the required postings.
Records. Right. So you want to take them off the wall and bring them here for inspection? Is
Sure.
the upstairs not open to the public for public business?
Normally, we do not allow other people other than staff into the city clerk's office.
Okay.
We have a duty to protect the records that we have as well.
Well, those records are supposed to be open to photograph and inspection according to state
And
law.
I can provide those to you.
Yep. Okay, and then after that, you mentioned something about a policy. Do you have that policy on hand?
We don't have anything written, but the elevators are restricted access for employees.
Okay, you could be the custodian who would provide access to those records. I ask that you do have key access and that the clerk's office is open with public records readily available. And at that time, I'll file my public record request, Chapter 119, in the clerk's office so I could receive a stamped copy.
You'd like a stamped copy of your public records to request to inspect which records specifically?
No, ma'am, those records do not require a public record request because they're readily available on the walls as defined what a public record is. It's regardless of physical form or characteristics. I will be filing a Chapter 119 request after I view those records. Public record mean all documents, papers, letters, maps, books, tapes, photographs, films, sound recording, data processing software, and other material regardless of physical form or characteristics of means of transmission made, received pursuant to the law, ordinance in connection with the transaction of official business by agency. So again, do you recall how many public records you have on the wall in the clerk's office? Maybe 20 records. I wouldn't like for you to take those records off the wall for me to inspect.
Yes.
I would just like to be free to inspect those government records.
You're free to inspect those
Yeah.
records, and I can bring them downstairs for you to inspect. I'll be right back.
And ma'am, you did mention something about the, you see, this is something is off because there's no transparency with not allowing a member of the public to visit the clerk's office. Now at this point,
But you're asking to go inside the office, is what you're saying, not on the outside. Like we put all of our records, like we post them. Did you see all of our stuff over here? We posted,
Yeah.
and we have a board out there that we post, and we also post out there. So
right,
I think she's trying to find out what exactly you're looking for. So
okay.
when you point to the walls, it looks like you're asking for like pictures on the walls.
Ma'am,
but I don't
I
know
have
what exactly you're
to
looking
wait
for.
for the lady to
Okay.
present what she's gonna present. Then we're gonna make a point about why would the lady have to take those records off of the wall when that office is supposed to be open for honesty, open for public trust, open for transparency. When I asked the lady that I wanted to go upstairs and inspect those records, she told me that I needed an ID in order to enter the clerk's office. I explained to her, no ma'am, that's not correct because I'm filing a public record request does not require an ID. She said she's going to bring me a policy, which that was a lie because she did not bring me a policy. I wanted to see the policy because it's made up. There's no policy. As you see, she didn't bring a policy. She told a lie.
Well,
And that's the great thing I like to capture on film.
So
Lies.
We don't have a policy that says you can't enter private offices of the employees, but
Well, ma'am,
that's the way we.
Are you saying on film that the clerk's office is a private office?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that
Okay.
I don't know what your request was from her.
Right.
but we
Is the
don't-
clerk's office private or public?
Well, the whole building is it's a public building, but we have specific access.
Yeah.
Authorized access to certain areas
Right.
for employees or elected.
The actual clerk's office lobby, does it have chairs?
Outside of the actual office.
Outside of the actual
Yeah.
office. I'd like to visit those chairs and have a seat up there.
Okay.
Would you be the one who has the key access to prompt me upstairs?
Hi, how are you, Lena? So we'll wait for her to come downstairs.
Okay, sure. Because you do see, ma'am, in the court of law, when a cross-examination happens, every single aspect and detail is cross-examined by every single employee. And I always like to remain professional and straightforward. I like to use the state law to convey what my request is.
So I think she's trying to make it easy and convenient for you by bringing the records down here for your inspection.
Do you honestly believe it's easy for the lady to pull the records off the wall instead of having me check out the honesty and transparency and viewing them as is on the wall? Let's say maybe she doesn't bring all the records and she's hiding something, but that's extra work that she's doing, taking the records off the wall instead of just leaving the records on the wall, which is permitted by the law for
Yeah,
people to
I'm just not familiar
inspect.
what she has posted, if it's pictures.
Okay.
Or if it's
You don't have
I-
familiar what she has posted, and you're the deputy city manager.
Right.
Okay.
And she's the city clerk, the custodian of the records.
Right. Okay. Well, anyhow, wait here momentarily. She did tell me a lie about the policy because she didn't present that, but we'll see what records she's gathering, and after that, I do ask that you prompt me upstairs because you have the key card, and I like to see the chairs that you have there for members of the public to sit on, because I might want to sit on that chair there, and
There you go.
okay. Ma'am, I'd like to ask you, these were taped up on the wall. Is is it is it not an honest faith that you're acting where you would have just left these records on the wall for me to inspect? Is upstairs open to the public? Do you have chairs?
The city clerk's office.
Yep.
The inside of the city clerk's office
Yep.
is not open to the public.
Okay.
We generally don't have the public up in the office for any reason.
It's not,
But-
you say it's not open. You do understand, ma'am, that anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law under cross-examination?
So,
Yep.
as you understand, you're allowed to inspect any of the records, but it's at a reasonable time and place.
At a
And so-
reasonable time and place.
That's
The
correct.
current time right now, ma'am, is roughly around 4 p.m. The business is open. It's a
Yes.
reasonable time and it's a
Yes.
reasonable place. Do you have chairs in the clerk's office for members of the public to sit on?
Actually, I don't have access to our conference room any longer.
Do you have chairs inside the clerk's office?
I think he's talking about outside.
Oh, we do have a lobby.
You do have a lobby. I'd like to visit that lobby.
Or I can take him up to the lobby.
You want to take them up to the lobby?
Sure.
That's just the lobby.
And
I'll
you
take
could
those
you could
records.
leave these here because I am going
I'm
to
not
digital
gonna
photo.
leave these here because they're public
Oh.
records and we don't
Sure.
leave them out.
Okay, I'll inspect them upstairs. Thank you. Please hang on to those records. I'd like to digital photocopy. Notice to employees from the State of Florida Public Employees Relation Commission. See, like this, for example, ma'am, this is a public record here. It's supposed to be about honesty. The employees are supposed to be honest and forthcoming.
Yeah, so if you wanted a copy of that, we would provide it to you.
Sure. Okay.
So this is the
City
lobby.
clerk, yes.
This is the lobby.
Okay. So the lady now caused damage on the wall because she was pissed off that she had to remove those off of the wall.
I don't think those records were posted there.
Okay.
No. Yeah, that's not where she took
Well,
those from.
here's
So this is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted to see?
right.
These are
Yes.
Pictures.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you see here, ma'am, did you just cause that damage here, ripping the records off the wall? Okay. But you see, at first, ma'am, you told me that an ID was required to come into this space, which is not true. You told me you were going to present a policy, which was a lie. But these are the records that I wanted to come take a look at. I wanted to see what you have available for the public. I noticed that you have a code of Sun Municipal Corporation Code. Right. And that might not be the same information you have online. But at this time, ma'am, I do see that this is open to the public. I was correct about that. And I would love to go ahead and file my Chapter 119 if you want to honor a verbal request.
Sure.
Sure. I have 3 total requests for the day.
Okay.
My first request is all public records received in the year of 2020. Yes. Include responses and determinations.
You asking for all public records requests received?
Yes.
Okay.
The request that members of the public submitted
So-
Including the responses.
and the determinations, yes. You being the FOIA officer, you are the FOIA public record officer?
I'm the city clerk, yes, I'm the public records.
Also
officer.
public record officer. Do you recall if you had in-person requests or is it all electronic through GovQA?
Well, we don't use GovQA. We
Just
receive-
FOIA?
No, we don't use those.
Okay. Well, yep, that'll be my first request. I'll inspect those right after that. But the second request, ma'am, is all emails sent and all emails received by city mayor. Only include emails with the phrases First Amendment audit and First Amendment audit.
Is First Amendment audit
Mm-hmm.
and First Amendment audit?
Yes.
Meaning the first would be a 1 ST.
That's
and
correct.
The other one is the...
Yes, ma'am. One of them is spelled 1ST and one of them is spelled FIRST. And
And
that's
what's the time frame for that?
time frame is 2017 to present date. You see, there's the people that watch some of my videos, they hate it that you're actually doing your task by submitting or taking a verbal request. They would tell you, no, don't do that.
We do this all day long.
Right, but they hate that you have to do that because you
What's
work for the city.
What's your third request?
So yep, yes, ma'am. The third request is a all recorded vacant properties, commercial and residential. Does the city, do you recall if you require residents to register their houses as vacant in this city?
I don't know, because normally I don't handle those requests
Okay.
myself.
Code
but
enforcement. Yeah.
But my staff will know offhand because
Sure,
we get
sure.
requests for that type of thing all the time.
Okay, cool. Yep. That's my third request there.
So you want all recorded vacant properties,
And yep.
both commercial and residential?
Yes, ma'am. That is correct. And go ahead and provide my contact information. When you do respond, I ask that you don't include my name in there. I just want to put my dear public record requester, if you will, and my email address.
One moment.
Sure.
When you say you want the vacant properties, are you saying like empty land? Or are you saying like a home that's empty?
Land and property on land.
That would be empty?
Yeah, sure. Vacant. It's recorded as vacant.
Okay, so when you say recorded as vacant, what do you mean by recorded?
Recorded means that if your city requires John Doe to come in here and say, hey, look, my building has electric, water issues, and it costs too much, it's vacant. I'm recording it with the city as vacant because that's what the city requires.
Okay.
So yeah, there's records for vacancy if the city
Okay,
requires.
What's the time frame for that?
Same as the above.
Okay, so 2017 through present?
Yes, ma'am. Let me see these, excuse me. These are basic workers' comp. I think it would have been much easier, ma'am, if you'd have left these on the wall as is. But it's okay. So my email address when you're ready is FOIA, FOIA, auditor @gmail.com. A reasonable amount of time to respond to the records, what would you say that is?
Well, we would have to take a look and see how expansive this request is.
Okay.
With regard to number one, that should actually go pretty quick. I should
Sure.
probably give that to you before you leave.
Oh, that'll be lovely. Because the requests are already maintained in a log, is that correct?
You wanted a log?
Well, the way it is in your possession. If it is in the log, if it's in a hard copy format, whatever way it is in your possession.
You wanted the responses though too, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And yeah.
Are you asking that to be emailed to that email address you provided?
Yeah, sure. You could email me those.
It can't be emailed.
It's too big.
I see what you're saying. I could wait momentarily if you do have those on file. Now, as far as the emails goes,
The email,
Yeah.
I would actually have to go in and do that manually. I'll have to take a look and
well,
see
you
what
see,
we have.
ma'am, whenever can you go and find out what the mayor is talking about without the people submitting that type of request?
I think
Now you're the mayor's boss because you're checking up on the mayor's emails. But I was
that's actually not the issue
okay.
whatsoever. It's just that I have to go into the program and I
Sure.
have to actually sort it out.
I would think, ma'am, that through the email to gather those records is just hit the search tab.
I know how
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I do it all the time.
Right, right. But you see, the reason why I bring that up is because there's other towns surrounding counties, city, municipal corporations that I request similar requests from, and they try to play me by telling me that it's gonna cost such and such fees, when I know that's a bold-faced lie because they don't use the language from the chapter 119 to respond. So the way that the search goes would take 10 seconds to look that stuff up and hit print. The only time it'll take to maybe redact some information, if you have to redact some personal information from within those emails. But yeah, those records should not take no more than 30 minutes to gather, which is free under 30 minutes. Is that correct?
Well, the totality of this
Totality,
public records
yes, ma'am.
request?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the first 30 minutes are without charge. That's correct.
Perfect. And I think that those records could be gathered within under 30 minutes. I'll wait for the response.
Well, I don't know until I go in and look.
Sure, yep, absolutely.
No, what I'm saying is, I'd have to go in and start actually doing the email
Gathering.
request to
Yes.
determine how long it would take.
Sure. And yeah, that'll conclude my business for today. If I could just have a stamped copy of that. Thank you.
You want a stamped copy of what I've just written here?
Sure, yep.
Okay, because normally we do write it up.
Yeah, the handwriting would be fine. That's now a public record because that's a letter.
Well, it's not a letter. Anyway, excuse me.
Okay, regardless of physical form or characteristics. The thing about that, what she has in her hand now, ma'am, is. Oh, I'm still gonna look at those.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So what she just wrote in her hand there, or regardless of physical form or characteristic, is a public record, or means of transmission made, or received pursuant in the connection of transaction of official business. So that is a public record.
Yeah, what she was saying is normally they'll type up or they'll write up the request on an official form.
On that tool, online, they'll punch that in online. Yep, through the portal. The reason why I don't like to use the online portal is because there's no correspondence. Once the employee sends the response through the online portal, there's no way for the requester to respond to that email.
So what's the online portal you're referring to?
Online portal, well, she did mention you guys don't use it, which is one of them is GovQA and the other one is Just FOIA.
Just FOIA.
Those are third-party companies that work with corporations to track and have the retention periods available for tracking purposes. See, like I said, ma'am, there's people out there that hate that the employees have to comply with the law.
And who would hate that? Most people support that as part of
Yeah.
the government.
And I like that you do
Transparency.
mention that. I like that you do mention that, and you seem forthcoming, very honest. And if it was up to me, I'll put you maybe a 10-star review on Google or Yelp.
Thank you.
Yep. I like to also sometimes check out historical facts about city halls and stuff. You know, if they have records from old mayors or historical facts, you know, how the town formed up and taxing situations, stuff like that.
Our budget book does have some historical information, which is very
Really?
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's how the city was first incorporated, how it was first developed. So.
Yeah. I visited another city a few days ago and I noticed that they had a mural on the wall that had a picture of the mayor that created that town. That's very strange because I don't know of any mayor creating a town, but those were historical facts they had listed as a public record.
And usually it's not just one person, it's a group of individuals that come together
Yep.
and have a vision.
Yep, that's what I have and my belief, what I noticed. Now, from you being a deputy city manager, do you recall members of the public filming in this location?
Yeah, I think the last time was maybe during COVID, So,
Okay.
So, you know, everybody was downstairs.
And I asked the security guard a question. I asked him, does he recall if any of the employees harassed the cameraman? Do you recall if any of the employees harassed the cameraman?
I don't think anyone harassed
Okay.
anyone.
And I also asked if any of the cameramen harassed any of the employees.
Well, you know, there's a polite way of asking and sometimes
Sure.
an aggressive way of asking.
Yep.
So I wouldn't use the term harassing.
Okay.
But,
That makes sense.
We do have some folks that come in and they're a little more aggressive.
Aggressive,
than
yep,
others.
yep.
But it's still a customer and you still want to provide whatever service
Yeah.
you're looking for.
I wouldn't think he's a customer.
Well, he's looking for public records. That's
Sure.
a customer for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And we want to treat everybody with, you know, kindness and respect and open government.
Courteous, integrity.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of our you know, pillars in the
And
organization.
everybody on the video that's watching your conduct is going to say, man, she's a superstar. We have to promote her to mayor, possibly governor.
I'm good. Thank you.
Sure.
So is this live or you're going to record it?
This is not live currently. Yep. This will be uploaded to the
It's
internet.
George, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so George, we keep our public records on a fiscal year. So the 1920 fiscal year has already met its retention. They
It's
have
been disposed.
2021.
It's been disposed. Yep. You have 2021. Okay. Is it? I would like
It's
to see that.
gigantic.
Sure. Yep. Yep.
Putting it on the flash drive.
Okay.
Is that
Cool.
okay?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. The retention period here of what I know in the state of Florida is 1 year. In other states, maybe about 5 years. But it's strange that it's 1 year because that's a way for the towns to get rid of data.
Well, this is for the public records requests.
Yep.
So these are the duplicate records of the records that we already hold. So we wouldn't necessarily need to hold them for any longer than we already have, you know, the public records. You know what I'm saying?
Strange. Yeah.
So she's referring to something that we've produced as part of our records production.
Mm-hmm.
So it would still be available, and we would keep it under the regular guidelines for records retention.
Sure. Mm-hmm. City code ordinances.
Did you ever look those up online? The city code?
From time to time, however, things get updated and changes are made, and sometimes I like to compare the one online to the one that's in person. I also do notice third parties are the ones who create these books. Sometimes the people need to act as quote unquote auditors, where they need to come and check on the functions of the public employees and the public duties. Because what I noticed from a job description of a government auditor is they have a variety of things that they have to complete according to their curriculum. But one thing that's not on the internal auditor's checklist is checking for fraud. So that's why it's up to the people to come out and attempt to find any fraud or wrongdoing from the government employees while conducting themselves unofficial.
So internal auditors do typically check for fraud. So I
Right.
don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, that was a specific town employee job description. Yeah, it was a single town, but it was just that one town alone, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
Listen, we're open government, we're transparent, we're
Mhm.
collaborative, you know, customer service.
great
is one-
representative I see I'm here talking to right now.
Customer service is one of our pillars for our organizational success. So we want to make sure that you have a great customer service experience.
Mhm.
So,
And who's at the top of the organizational chart?
well, it'll be the mayor and city commission,
Above the mayor?
the stakeholders, the community, all
The
of
people.
the residents.
That is
Yeah.
correct. That is correct. You're absolutely 100% correct. Yep. We're all human, you know. We all can make mistakes, but I'm glad that you conduct yourself in the way that you do, because that's what we really like to see. We like to see both things: great employees that are courteous, We like to see employees that lie and fail to comply.
Yeah, Felicia wasn't lying about the policy, she just thought we had something developed, but we don't have
Mhm.
anything developed. So she just wasn't aware.
Yep. I one time visited a town that had $1 million reporting in miscellaneous funds.
Did you find out what it was for?
Well, I did not go into a thorough search on that yet, but the retention period is 5 years, so it's still open. If I really want to spend some time on that particular finding, or notice. But yeah, I mean the account numbers are all available, so if I really want to spend some time, I could narrow it down to the penny. You know, there was an employee who embezzled, city clerk who embezzled $54 million. She opened up a special account and she was dumping funds from the city hall into her private bank account. And city administrator noticed that and reported that to the local authorities and FBI. And she did, I think, 12 years. Had a horse ranch, all type of luxury. And what was how they found out was through the administrator finding records were odd. There was some odd recordings, and again, through the Public Record Act, anybody could find wrongdoing, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's a significant amount of money. I have no idea how anyone would be able to get away with something like
Oh yeah,
that.
54 mayor embezzles 54 million from city. That's all on Google.
Wow.
Yep. Would you agree that the employees that are representatives of government at all levels have a higher standard than the people when it comes to communication skills?
That's a difficult question, right? So I wouldn't judge your communication skills versus my employees' communication skills. I will tell
Yep.
you that as an organization, we like to ensure that our employees are communicative, are customer service oriented, respond to the needs of the customer. But the customer
Mhm.
could be equally communicative, right?
Sure.
So, I mean, we're here to meet and exceed the requests and the needs of the customer, whatever it is
Yep.
that you need in the city. And we provide a wide variety of services,
Mhm.
and we have customers at all ranges of communication levels, but
Sure.
we try to meet all of their needs.
And the employees, they do have an extensive job description that they must follow to the T.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So part of that is courteous and to be able to handle handle themselves in a variety of circumstances. I forgot what the word was. But I do look at.
Professionalism, compassion.
Yeah, sure.
Customer service.
Sure. Um, a lot of people like to argue when I see some videos online. Oh, the employees have rights. The employees have rights. Sure, the employees have rights when they clock out and finish the days of job. But when they're on the work hour, they have duties. Before the rights, there's duties, and that doesn't mean that an employee could do an intimidation tactic. Monkey see, monkey do. He's filming me, so me as an employee, let me pull out my camera while I'm supposed to be doing these key entries. Let me start filming him so I could antagonize the guy because he has the right to come in here and film. So it's things like that. But courteous act goes a long way, and I never want to say anything out of line or get loud or curse or anything like that, because if and when it will go to the court of law, it's going to be cross-examined by a jury, and they're going to break everything down to the T. Ma'am, did you tell the guy this? Well, what does your policy say? Under oath of affirmation, so honesty is the long way.
Have you visited some other Broward cities?
Broward, yep. Yeah, I visited some cities in Broward. everybody's pretty, courteous. But there's a lot of guys that came out and started filming and filing public record requests, and they got yelled at, and some employees were not informed that the members of the public have a right to record employees in the official course of their duties. So the employees would start yelling at them, and then it just becomes escalation. The police show up. It's all over something very simple. The employee sees the guy and says, "How may I help you?" Gives him a listen. "What are you here for, sir?" You know, and it's all how the communication goes. But I always see videos that employees lie and employees escalate things, and then later members of the public receive the police calls, and the employees are lying over the phone saying he's being disruptive when he came in calm as a bird, and the video shows. There's a auditor, his name is Long Island Audit. Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay, well, he started civil litigation because he went in calm and was recording into a city hall, and they cross-examined the clerk, and they caught her telling several lies in court under she committed perjury, but she still has not dealt with the consequences from the court of law. She's still working, but all of that shows in front of the entire world how the attorneys cross-examine the employees, and it's almost like, ma'am, why are you doing these things? Your job description labels you as an intelligent individual. How do you not have the capacity of just dealing with this simple man's request, which is he likes to go and film peacefully, possibly after that file no, you can't film in here, blocking the guy's camera.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
No, we have people come and film our employees while they're working and stuff. It's fine. We don't have an issue with it. We have our customer service folks downstairs and security guard downstairs.
Come again?
No, I was gonna say, how many videos have you produced? You said you have your online. Is it like a YouTube channel that you have?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
I would say roughly around 300 plus videos.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's strange that employees that work at Walgreens, employees that work at McDonald's, CVS, they have to always remain calm and courteous. If they get slightly out of hand or say disrespect a customer or something, they immediately get fired. But I've seen thousands of videos online where employees shout at the people, get up close to their camera, flick them off, tell them foul language, not comply with the law, refuse to service them, and they still have their jobs. At the same time, they work for the taxpayers, but they still keep their job. But there's no profession out there that the employees disrespect the customers like some of the government employees, as seen by thousands of videos. And that's what the camera brings, is it brings honesty, it brings awareness, and it's the people's right, to check on the government to make sure that it is being conducted in the public interest.
I have seen some instances, like I said, where a First Amendment auditor has come in and been aggressive with
Really?
employees. Yeah. And so some of that's fear. The
Yeah.
employee feels scared or threatened, or I've seen where they've come in wearing like military artillery and SWAT attire, and that's scary for anyone.
Yeah.
It's different if you're a police officer, but as a general employee who's not used to that attire, it's
Yep.
intimidating and it's scary, and especially in this environment of active shooters and active killers.
Pray caution.
So some of that I really think is the employee being just fearful, not only for themselves but for their coworkers and the other customers in the building. So
Sure.
sometimes I've seen people just react negatively
Yeah.
towards, because they don't understand that it's a First Amendment auditor. A lot of it's the attire and the aggressiveness. So
But I would think it's all within the communication. Hey man, what are you here for? You know, how can I help you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not excusing the behavior, but I've been in the situation and it's intimidating.
And then I would also say the entire video has to be examined, because what was the first engagement like? Did the guy come in, the quote unquote auditor, did he come in? What's the first thing that he mentioned? Who's the first person who engaged him? Did he engage the employee, or did the employee engage him first? What was the attitude like? Was the employee genuine in their initial response? Because if quote unquote, some of the videos that I see, that some of the auditors feel that the employee comes off condescending or cocky, then the auditor would play along to that attitude.
Right.
Yeah. Just like I had to say the lady lied to me, because she did lie to me. But
She was just mistaken. She wasn't intentionally trying to mislead you.
yeah. But I knew 1000% sure that this is supposed to be open to the public, which it is. And you know, the security guard did mention that the elevator has a key card. So that's kind of strange. But all of those inquiries could be submitted to the mayor, or you know, in the court of law, to see if that's acceptable according to what's supposed to be open by the OMA, Open Meetings Act, or through the Chapter 119. Some of those offices have to be cannot ask for an ID for some services.
Sure, I understand.
Yeah. There was a time I visited the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, and people started forming up a line at around 6 a.m. I think they opened up at 8:30. So people were lined up out there, elderly, senior citizens sitting on the floor, 500 people in the line. I come in when everybody's standing in the line, and I'm holding a clipboard, and I'm standing there looking at the people from a distance and marking stuff down on my clipboard. People start walking up to me thinking I work there because I have a clipboard. They ask me a question, so I point at the employees. What the employees are doing is they're asking the people standing in line, what are you here for here today? And they start clicking their information on the iPad. So what do? As soon as the doors open up, I cut that line and I walk inside the DMV, and they ask me what I'm there for, and I tell them I'm there to file a FOIA request. The manager comes out and he says he's been there for 10 years and he doesn't even know what FOIA is. But I cut the line, I did my FOIA thing, and then after that, I got advanced services to go do my other plate services for my vehicle. So there's thousands of people that come in every day for the same thing, but there's additional services that folks don't know of, which is the FOIA Act and public record. That's also subject to public disclosure from the SOS, Secretary of State.
Hello. Bringing up a record request.
And yeah, it's amazing that
So what does the FOIA stand for?
Freedom of Information Act.
Oh, okay. Is that in the statute? It actually says FOIA?
FOIA is not a term used in the Sunshine Manual. It's not a term used in Florida, but it is the federal requirement by all states. Some states call it OPRA, Open Public Records Meeting Act, or something in those lines.
Gotcha.
So yeah, some states call it FOIA. Other states call it public records request. But
Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard that just FOIA software.
Okay,
I hadn't
yeah.
heard of that.
they use that down there in West Palm,
Okay.
around that area. But yeah, so yeah, I cut the entire line, and they couldn't tell me, hey, stand.
They couldn't tell you to go back in line?
No,
you said?
them people are standing for what they're doing. I'm not here for what they're
Right.
doing. Yeah, I'm here for FOIA. So the manager had to run around crazy, not knowing what was going on. But sir, I'm only here to file. He had to look it up. Then eventually he told me, no, you got to go do this and that. I set him straight because I had the law on my clipboard. And eventually he had to print one out. And what they did is they faxed it over to their FOIA officer.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they had one.
Yeah, he had to print it out.
Right.
But he's been there for 10 years and he never encountered anybody submitting a FOIA request. It's sad. Another sad thing is I called the town once and I talked to the clerk over the phone and I asked her, yes, hello, hi, ma'am. She confirmed that she's a city sworn clerk. Are you also the FOIA officer? Yes. Okay. Ma'am, roughly around how long have you been working for the town? She said, shit, I've been working for about 15 years here. I asked her, do you recall when was the last time you received a FOIA request? She said, shit, it might have been about 10 years. So that's a town of 50,000 people, and not one single person from within that area, within that town, has filed a FOIA request within 10 years. 50,000 people. And shit, do you remember the last time who it might have been an esquire, an attorney. So look at where the people's mind is at. Yeah. So that means the government could just run around, do whatever they want without having the actual inspection. Hello. Yep. I received internet browsing history from a county assessor that was not looking at public related things. He was looking at panties and thongs and birthday gifts and children's gifts through the internet browsing history. I received a deputy sheriff playing on his personal Facebook. It's all subject to public disclosure. And the people would not know what's going on if they don't submit these record requests. You know? So bring that up at the next hearing, open meeting. Are you also legal counsel?
No.
No, okay. So you're not with the member of the bar association?
No.
Okay. All the employees should have an ambition to want a promotion. Want to start off as an intern, maybe to a receptionist down to a assistant clerk, and up the chain, you know.
Why do you think that?
Well, that's just my opinion, but
So I'll give you an example. Like I have a friend who's an introvert.
Mhm.
So she doesn't like talking to a lot of people. She doesn't want to be social at work. So she's an accountant.
Mhm.
She loves being an accountant. She doesn't want to do anything but crunch her numbers.
Okay.
And she's so happy doing her job.
Yep.
So she doesn't aspire to be the manager or
I
anybody
see,
else.
yeah.
She really wants
Makes
to be
sense.
an accountant, and
Makes sense.
she'll just do that for the rest of her career.
Mhm. Yep.
It's a lot of its personality, isn't it?
Well, I think law enforcement is the ones who would want to climb up the chain, if I'm not mistaken, from a police officer to a sergeant, lieutenant.
That one's difficult too, because
Yeah.
as a sergeant, you become a supervisor,
Sure.
and you have a lot of paperwork.
Right.
And
Right.
you're not interacting with the community, you lose
Right.
that touch and that engagement with
Mhm.
the residents and businesses. So not all police officers want to be sergeants, because then they're doing performance
Administrative.
evaluations. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're reviewing court reports,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So they like to. A lot of them like to actually be out and
Mhm.
they go and they meet with people. They'll stop and say hello to some folks walking their dog or whatever. There's
Mhm.
something really remarkable about that interaction and getting to know your residents in your area.
That's what the mission statement is.
Oh, the police mission statement?
Integrity, yep,
Oh, okay.
with the community.
Mm-hmm.
There's good people and bad people out there. You know, good cops, bad cops, but
Everywhere, right?
everywhere, yep,
Mhm.
in every profession.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's just reality.
Mhm.
You know, we spend a lot of time trying to hire the best and the brightest and the cream of the crop. You know,
Yes.
that's for all of our positions in the organization. So,
Mhm.
you know, I think they do a pretty good job. But unfortunately, I do watch the news on occasion and makes me
Some horrible cop stories and stuff.
sad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. It's yeah, it's a shame. Okay.
Those are the public records requests.
Oh,
This is a copy of
perfect.
your public records request.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is the sheet that you had requested.
I thank you kindly, ma'am. I did review those and took digital photo images. This all my business here is concluded. Do I owe you any fee for the flash?
No, you do not.
High five.
But I will tell you though, that if you have now hit up right up against the half hour, produce this portion
Okay,
of the
okay,
request.
okay.
So what will happen is for number 2 and number 3,
Yep.
we'll send you an estimate.
Okay.
Okay, but we won't be using your name, we'll send it to the email
Well-
address that you provided here.
Well, here's the cute part. There's an estimate for that. But if my friend wants to request the same records, that'll fall under the 30 minutes and he'll receive it for free.
If it falls under the 30 minutes.
Right, yes, ma'am. But again, I have to put you folks a 10-star review on Yelp. At least I have to do that with the city manager.
And my colleague.
And I'd like to also thank you, ma'am, for your courteous act as well and compliance with the state statute. And hopefully we see you folks as, again, mayor someday. Okay.
But we're happy to do our jobs and help you.
Right, of course.
Do I need the badge to go downstairs?
I'll walk you down.
Sure, yep,
Yep, no
thanks.
problem.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alright,
Thank you.
I'll be
Yep.
going down as well because
Okay.
I was in a meeting downstairs.
Okay,
Cool.
that's your records though.
Those are your records, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. See, sometimes if you do your business over email, they would never give you a flash for free. But when
Yeah.
you come with a nice smile,
We can't see your smile.
thank you.
Where we at, in the chambers?
Yeah.
This does have the response to the determinations
Does it have the response to what?
and the determinations.
The
Oh
responses.
yeah, it has the,
Perfect.
it's the public records requests and the responses.
Perfect, perfect.
Provided
Cool.
that the responses were saved.
It's gonna be a lot of
Or they were produced from our office.
a lot of attorneys requesting records, some media, some of the people, variety of different requesters all on
There's
there.
probably over 600 public records
Cool,
requests
cool.
out there, including responses.
All right,
Some of them
thank
are
you,
pretty
sir.
voluminous.
Have a good one. Okay, folks, thank you so much. Thank you. God bless. Great people here at the city of Sunrise, Florida. Thanks again, ma'am. Real great people here. You folks let me know how that all went. At first, the lady was, I seen it in her eyes, right? But the second lady that came out, the city administrator, she's one of the most courteous employees, one of the most that I ever met with in my life. I have met other courteous employees. She's up there, so we gotta send her virtual roses or something, a certificate. We the people recognize you, something like that in them lines. Audit them always encourages you to, and you like how I mentioned that there's trolls out there that would hate that lady's sitting there. She's not your personal secretary. They hate that stuff. Audit them always encourages you to audit them.